healthcare fraud scheme worth $400 million.
This 2 years after Contact 5 investigator Katie LaGrone exposed how the scam worked.
To who? You have to have done it to someone, but there's no effort at all to uncover that.
I thought he should have been ashamed of himself. Then I watched Floyd Money Mayweather with Jim Gray. And I said, wait a minute, I smell something. Something seems a bit fishy.
No, money is
okay. I smelled something.
Joe Rogan was visibly stunned during a recent episode of The Joe Rogan Experience when breaking news emerged that boxing legend Floyd Mayweather is being sued for his alleged involvement in a $42 million fraud scheme. Known for his unfiltered commentary and deep dives into high-profile scandals, Rogan couldn't hide his disbelief as details unfolded about the lawsuit, which accuses Mayweather of orchestrating a
Floyd Mayweather. He's the only guy who's been able to just be balling out of control, constantly flashing money, $1 million watches, a fleet of super expensive cars, and still freaks everybody out. The thing about Floyd is he never lost his discipline. Floyd would famously run home from the nightclub. So he would go out in Vegas, partying, it would look like a party, drinking water, and then he would have his driver drive, and with his pants on, jeans on, he would jog home. And the dude was always trained.
Massive financial scam involving false investments and deceptive business partnerships. As a longtime commentator on combat sports, Rogan has extensively analyzed Mayweather's boxing career and fighting style. He offers a comprehensive perspective on the fighter's evolution in the ring. In the early days, Mayweather earned the nickname Pretty Boy, thanks to his exceptional defensive abilities.
I mean, he fought Logan Paul. Logan Paul weighs 200 plus pounds.
And he turned the shit out of Logan Paul's neck. Like
Crazy.
Like wow. And I think he held him up like, hey man, don't fall because you'll mess the money up.
If they were the same size, I think Floyd would have knocked him out. Logan was so big.
Oh,
he was so much bigger than it.
But them shots though was
It's so crazy to see a guy who is the best boxer of all time having a fight with this super athletic, gigantic YouTube kid. I mean, look at the size difference. It's insane.
Which allowed him to avoid significant damage. Rogan has often pointed out that during this period, Mayweather combined blazing speed with offensive power, using rapid combinations to overwhelm opponents, an approach that balanced aggression with technical brilliance. Later in his career, Mayweather transitioned to his money persona, becoming more defensive and strategic. Rogan has praised this shift, emphasizing how Mayweather mastered the art of minimizing damage while...
One of the things that people forget is that Floyd went through a big transition of his own. If you go back to the early parts of his career and you watch when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was a much more aggressive fighter and he would put himself in danger much more. And then when he became Money Mayweather, just got so much more brilliant defensively. And then he became the guy that you see shutting out Canelo Alvarez, stopping all these guys, just shutting everything down. He just became this defensive wizard.
Still controlling the fight. That's why, for my money, Floyd Mayweather is the best ever, Rogan said. He's the guy that got hit the least. He's exactly the right amount of aggressive to win. The thing that's crazy about Floyd is that he stands right in your face, and you still can't hit him. Rogan also discussed the public's often polarized perception of Mayweather. He believes much of the dislike stems from Floyd's flashy lifestyle and brash persona. They like watching him fight because they hate him, Rogan said. He creates envy.
Floyd Mayweather used to be having these crazy workouts and he would crack open a Pepsi and people were like, what the f is he doing? Like, he's crazy. That guy never drank, never partied, never was out of shape, never got fat, would run home from the club at 2 o'clock in the morning. If boxing is hit and don't get hit, who's better than Floyd? 0 people. He definitely cracked him at the end of that round and wobbled him. And then it was right at the bell. And so then Floyd got back on his bike and started outboxing him.
Is Ali the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights? Every time boxing come on, you don't bring up Muhammad Ali name. You don't bring up Mike Tyson name. You always bring up Floyd Mayweather name because I'm still the face of boxing.
When you think about Floyd talking about greater than Ali, he's very delusional. Listen, he can't take his kid to school by himself. And he's talking about he's great. He's a little scared man. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people.
Ali Bomaye. That means Ali kill him.
You want him to lose, but he's not going to. Despite the arrogance often associated with Mayweather's image, displaying $1 million watches, private jets, and lavish homes, Rogan acknowledged the fighter's exceptional discipline and tireless work ethic, suggesting that his public persona is carefully crafted for success. Mayweather's influence in the sport was on full display during an exhibition bout in Mexico City against John Gotti III, when he controversially replaced the referee mid-fight.
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I show you, when I show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds, it's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
You feel that disappointment that the fans felt that maybe you didn't get the best Manny Pacquiao that night?
We're not going to do that. We're not going to talk about that. You was one of the guys that believed in Pacquiao.
I did.
Okay. So now we don't want you to back out the block. And I told you before, that was easy work. So if you believe in Pacquiao, you need to go back and say, you need to sit down and do a story and say, you know what? I believe in Pacquiao, and it's his fault. It's not Mayweather's fault, because Mayweather did what he always do. Be a calculated fighter, be a smart fighter, and find a way to win.
And I did that because I said that although there was a problem with his shoulder, whether it existed or not, I always said there was no, wait.
Floyd was great, but he didn't want smoke with Winky. Yeah, he didn't want smoke with Winky. He didn't want smoke with Triple G. But there are people who look at that situation and be like, I mean, that's crazy. But that's what the great ones do. They do crazy shit. But Floyd did enough crazy stuff, though. Listen, I don't have that much criticism towards Floyd. I just don't think he's as great as everyone's saying. The greatest ever? That's silly talk to me. But he was jaw-dropping great. The impact of Floyd is my thing, and that's not criticism on Floyd. That's criticism on followers. So everybody followed what they perceived to be his blueprint. That's my criticism. It's never Floyd.
After being warned for an allegedly illegal hit, Mayweather pushed the official and demanded a replacement. A new referee was brought in, and the fight continued, with Mayweather being unofficially declared the winner. Rogan recounted this incident to highlight Mayweather's unparalleled power in the sport, remarking that only someone of Mayweather's fame and influence could pull off such a bold move. According to Joe Rogan, Floyd Mayweather's unmatched competitiveness.
So Floyd Mayweather just got done with the boxing match against John Gotti III, and well, in the boxing match, specifically in the second round, Floyd Mayweather kicked out a ref, and they replaced it with a new one because the ref took too long pausing the fight. Let me know in the comments if this is one of the craziest things you've seen in a boxing match.
Can be traced back to his upbringing. His father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., and his uncle, Roger Mayweather, were both deeply competitive figures who instilled in him a relentless drive to succeed. Rogan believes that this intense environment shaped Mayweather into the dominant fighter he became during his prime. You just look at boxing in terms of how...
The referee said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100% correct. The punch landed the side of the head. It's a right hook. It's a perfect punch. And the referee was saying, watch the back of the head. He's like, what the f*** are you talking about? And so he kicks the guy out, and they bring in a different referee who finishes the fight. It was insanity.